Hello. So in topic 0a, in our last video, which is our last video, we looked at let and constant. Okay, we looked at the two different ways of how we can actually declare a variable. Actually, there's three: let, constant, and variable. But it's very rare that we use the var keyword in React Native. Hence why I only stuck with let and const. Okay, so that was what we did in the previous video. I would really encourage you to go back and watch that video. It's quite a short video to help you to understand exactly what variables and constants are. Now, the next topic I would like to cover, well, not really topic, we're still on topic 0. The previous video was topic 0a. Here we're topic 0b. What I would like to cover are data types. Okay, so every time you create a variable, you assign it a value. Now, in JavaScript, values come in different types. Some are primitive types, which are single values like numbers or strings. Others are objects, which are like collections of data. Okay, so you have to know the kind of type that you're using. In other languages like Java or sometimes in C#, or other languages, well, primarily Java, you have to actually define the data type that you're using. However, in JavaScript, you don't actually have to define the kind of data type that you're using. I think that's what was introduced in TypeScript, to make sure that you actually define the kind of data type that you're using. But in JavaScript, we don't actually have to define. So you've already seen that we've created, in this particular case, the example you have in front of your screen, that is what we call a number. You declaring a number, or in other languages, it's an integer. You're declaring an integer variable or a number. If I wanted to declare, let's say, a string, a piece of string, what I would do is I would put 25 inside age. Now, by adding the quotation marks to it, it automatically makes this value into a string. Okay. Another data type that we may have is Boolean, okay, which is basically true or false. So let's put an example onto the screen. So let's say, for example, const name. I'll put Dr. Emmanuel, for example. Okay, that is my name, and my name is in a string. Then constant age. Of course, I'm not going to tell you my age, but I'm just going to choose 25. Okay, as a number in this particular case. Then I'm going to create a true or false variable, which we may use later on. We may do constant is student true. That is me creating a constant that can either be a true or false. Or I can create a nullable, a null variable, which is constant nothing equals null. Okay, or an undefined, we can just do let not assign. So automatically, when you create a variable and you don't assign it anything, it would add undefined to it. So these are different types of variables that you can create. So these are primarily the primitive types that you may generally see. Then you may have other variables such as objects. Now, objects are the way I like to describe objects. We're going to come down to a topic on objects precisely, but this one, an object variable, will kind of look like. Okay, if we wanted to declare an object variable, we may go constant person equals, and then a person may have some features about them. Okay, so in this particular case, I may do name, okay, and then name, and then I will do Kofi. Okay, now Kofi's age is 30, is a student, is false. That is what we call as an object. Okay, so an object is a collection of data. So rather than having, for example, in this case, I have constant name equals Dr. Emmanuel, constant age equals 25. Now these are different types of variables and they're all standalone. You can actually create an object which would actually have all that information inside. So what an object does is it keeps all that information together as one instead of you having to have separate ones for you to use. Okay, so that is what we call data types. Now, there are other data types that we probably will cover later on, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I just wanted to cover string, a number, a boolean, null, and an undefined, and just to show you an example of an object. Okay, and I will see you in the next video.